And y'all give these people a big round of applause. They work hard for you. And the training you're going to get from them today is great. Let's do the twist. I don't know where that music came from. That was not part of our thing, but we're going to twist. Stand up, twist, people.
If you're not a director, stand up!
Music just came in.
I think Vicki is in charge of that.
As y'all can see, this is live. Nothing is practiced.
So when you hear the music, that's the twist. What are we going to do?
Twist! Alright, so with no further ado, let me introduce Mary Gresssaffa. So she's going to be giving you her cooking show, so get your pens and papers ready. But let me give you a little bit of info on Mary. She started her business in August of 2015. She does a combination of live and virtual parties. In 2016, she became a director. She sold $44,000 in 56 parties and had 11 recruits qualified, plus she earned Riviera Maya. So this year, already, she's over $26,000 in sales, 38 parties, 7 qualified recruits, and well on her way to earning Puerto Rico. So with that said, let's get cooking. Mary's audience, come on back up. And we're going to try to do this without a mic. So,
see, I'll be quiet and I'll take some, I'll speak extremely loud. I'll try to. Come on. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first thing I'd like to do is thank you, Paula, for inviting me into your home and introducing me to your friends and family. I have a small gift for you that I'd like you to have. And I think it's small because Pampered Chef is going to spoil you rotten today with free products and half-price items. The entire catalog is going to be discounted for you from 20 to 30%. And in addition to that, you're going to end up getting to get your host special, which is the reason why we're here tonight in August. Paula is going to be able to save $150 on the double burner program. Super excited for you, Paula. And I'd also like to thank Denise because I met Paula at Denise's party, and tonight Denise is able to get something for half off, so I'm real excited for you too. Let's see. So that reminds me of, I'm sorry, y'all, got a little distracted there. Okay, so our host rewards are absolutely amazing. And when you think about just the fact that not only do you get all these wonderful things, but it continues. And so it always reminds me of this little cartoon or comic that I saw when I was little. It was of a lady with packages falling out of her arms. And the caption said, "Honey, I could have saved more, but I ran out of money." And I think of that all the time, right? I mean, isn't that true? You get a savings, you want to spend and spend and spend, but you only have so much. Well, or either that or you have money and you can't find anything. Well, Pampered Chef says not only am I going to give you free products, half-price items, etc., but for an entire year, you guys get to save 10%. So how cool is that? Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Mary Gresssaffa. I am a full-time court reporter, and I'm an advanced director with the Pampered Chef. I'm married. I have 4 kids. Do I need to talk louder? I can't do a demo with the I'm married. I have 4 kids. I volunteer at church. I've been the youth minister. I've been the PTO president. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I want you to know that I get it. I totally understand what it feels like to be exhausted when you come home from work. And still, if you have kids, you still have to do homework. You have to do all these extracurricular activities, laundry, you name it. And I get it, and so does Pampered Chef. So what they have done is they have designed these tools that are not only going to help you prep your meal faster, but cook it quicker. It's going to taste better because of the way everything's designed. And you're going to be able to clean up by putting it in either the dishwasher or wiping it with a paper towel. And so I'm going to teach you tonight some recipes that you can put dinner on the table in 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes. You guys, we really have to get our family back at the table. And I'm going to tell y'all a little story real quick before we get started. I had an epiphany with my husband the other day. Take this off. I had an epiphany with my husband the other day. We got out of the habit of our family eating together at the dinner table, okay? And so we were talking, and we started talking about how, as long as I can remember, my mother always had Sunday dinner. 12 o'clock, all the time. Family came over, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever. And as my sisters got married, their families came over. My mother-in-law did Sunday night dinner, okay, once a week. She continued, and to this day still does it. And my mother, about 15 or 20 years ago, stopped doing it. Well, my children are so close to that side of the family, okay? So much so that when they come home from college, they're like, oh, I gotta go see grandma. I mean, how amazing is that without being prompted? And sadly, they don't even know my parents. I mean, they know them, but not like that. So I'm able to witness the dynamic of getting your family back around the table. So like I said, it's so important. We need to really fight for that time. I'm gonna go over my folders real quick that y'all have in front of you. Very, very quickly. This first page just shows your host benefits. My average show is $800, so you can see that you get about $165 in free products. Tonight you're going to be able to pick out one of these items for free. When you spend $75, there's some host specials as well. And this one right here says 1,351 reasons to try Pampered Chef. In a nutshell, you buy one of 3 kits. The cheapest one is $109 with $450 in products. Pretty amazing. The second one's $159. You get $650. The third one is my favorite, which is the ultimate kit. For $249, you get $1,000 in products, okay? By the time you have a couple of shows, you get your commission, you get products, Pampered Chef's throwing stuff at you all the time, you end up netting $1,351. So it's pretty amazing. This is my first paycheck. 2 cooking shows, almost $1,000. So you really make real money. And these just show some things. We also have the bridal shower where the bride not only earns, gets really great products, but she earns as well, just like the hosts do. And we also do Facebook parties. So with that being said, I'd like you guys not to really look through your catalog because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff today. But I'd like you to take your wish list out. And anything that I say tonight that you're interested in, just go ahead and jot it down. And when you're ready to check out, you can bring that up to me. You can circle what you want. And whatever's left, we can go ahead and talk about getting that for you for free to host your own party. Or you might know somebody who's going to have one and you already have your wish list started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to talk about my second favorite product, the rock punk. How many of you guys have a stone? Any of the Pampered Chef baking stones? Pretty much everybody, right? So you guys already know that when you stick that stone in the oven, it turns your oven into a brick oven. You know that you don't have to preheat. You know that when you put your frozen French fries on there or your shrimp that's fried shrimp from the night before on there, it's going to crisp both the top and the bottom, right? You don't have to crawl in there and flip it over and sweat off all your makeup. And you know that if you have that deep cover baker, you know that cranberry one that we had for years, and now we have that gorgeous gray color that goes with all the decor. You know that if you stick your roast in there, it's going to sear it, and then you can still take it off with a fork. And you know that if you put your chicken in there, the skin's going to be crispy, and the dark meat is going to be done at the same time the white meat is still moist and juicy, and there's a nice gravy. You know, if you put your macaroni in there, the cheese is going to be brown. You don't have to lift off the top, and it's still nice and creamy. But what you might not know is when you take that chicken and you put it in the microwave, it also turns the microwave into a brick oven as well. And that chicken comes out the same way as it did in the oven, but it only takes 30 minutes. Okay, so you can make a meal in no time at all. Now, Pampered Chef took that awesome cooking vessel and decided, well, it doesn't do everything. So they designed this rock crock. And the rock crock does everything that deep cover baker does, same thing. However, you can also put it on the stove top. And you can put it outside on the grill. So on this hot August day in Louisiana, you don't have to worry about heating up your home. You can cook outside on the grill. When you're done, you can stick it in the dishwasher. So this last season, to blow your mind even more, they made a slow cooker stand. So now it does everything. So I'm going to tell you, well, I'm going to help you wrap your head around why you would need something that does everything. First time we got the Rock Crock, the slow cooker stand, was later in that day. And by the way, every month, my FedEx driver is watching me in the driveway as I'm clapping my hands, because I get something every month from Pampered Chef, and he's just shaking his head. I'm like, give me stuff. But so I got my FedEx stuff and threw it in the office, and I was making the taco soup, and so I had my ground meat in there. I'm chopping it with my food chopper, and I kind of took some onions. I chopped them up with the manual food processor. I took my garlic, I pressed it, and I'm chopping away, and the phone rings. It's my son. To make a long story short, I had to leave right then, go do something. I wasn't coming back for an hour and a half. I was like, oh no. And then the epiphany, I was like, okay, wait, we just got the slow cooker stand. So I took the Rock Crock off the oven, put it in the microwave, put it on for 2 minutes. Now, if I was starting with raw ground meat, it would take about 4 to 6 minutes. You cook it every couple of minutes, you chop it, and if you need to drain it, you drain it and do it like that. So in the meantime, I have my can opener, my smooth edge can opener. You guys don't have a smooth edge can opener, and you have that can opener that has all that gunk around the blade, that is food. So what's happening is that stuff is actually getting into your can. So if you open up a can of cat food, and then you open up a can of corn, your cat food is actually getting into your corn. How gross is that? So if you don't have that, you make sure that you are writing that one down. You definitely want the smooth edge can opener. So anyway, 2 minutes later, I'm throwing everything in. I run in, I grab my box, I open it up, I plug it in, I put my Rock Crock in there, I leave, I come back, absolutely delicious because it was just melding in the flavors. For 2 days, we ate off of that. Refrigerator, microwave, refrigerator, microwave. When we were done, dishwasher. Can y'all imagine how many dishes I would have done if I didn't have the Rock Crock? I would have come home with a sink full of dishes. I mean, that is why this is such an amazing, life-changing tool. Okay, so if you're busy or you need to make a cake in 5 minutes or a cake in 10 minutes, you can do it right in here in the microwave. So it's just the kind of tool that you definitely want. So we're going to start off with making our chicken. And if you'll notice, I have 2 of these. This is called your chef's tongs. This is a large one. To open it, all you do is this and close it so you can have a baby on your hip, your arm can be in a sling, and you can still cook, okay? So if you notice, you have silicone on here, right? It's safe up to over 400 degrees. I can't keep up with how safe everything is because it's just crazy. But you can fry with this. It's safe with your cookware. You can boil. You can barbecue. It stays closed in the dishwasher, closed in the washing machine. It has slots, so when you pick up your French fries or whatever out of the oil, it drains, and you can get a ton of food in there instead of those little tiny ones. And you can actually pick up shrimp by the antenna and swing it around. That's how much it pinches. So this is definitely a tool that you want. I actually have 2 because I forget which one is raw meat, which one's cooked meat, so I always use the small one for raw meat, and then I don't have to worry about it. So the next tool that I want to show you that is one of my favorites is, actually they're all pretty much my favorite, but anyway, it's the closing knife. So you guys have those cherry tomatoes that you chase around your bowl trying to eat, right? You just throw them in here, do that, they slice it all at one time. Grapes, number 2 choking hazard, same thing. You put it in there, you slice it, grapes are sliced, ready to go. Bagels, but I like to do the chicken, and I'll show you why. Whenever you buy your chicken, you are going to have a thin edge and a thick edge, right? Okay, so what's going to happen if you cook it like this? If the thick part is cooked, the thin part is going to be dry, right? Or if the thin side is cooked perfectly, the thick part is going to be raw. So we're going to either have to pound it out with our meat tenderizer, or we can just cut it real quickly. And little tip, you guys, buy it in bulk, have it all prepped out, put it in your Ziploc bags with your seasonings in it. When it defrosts, it'll be marinating with it. So this is all you do. Not in the kitchen. okay? And not only that, but it's gonna actually cook quicker. So, I'm gonna put that in my rock crock. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my citrus press, and I'm going to very quickly flavor it. Isn't that amazing? And I'm going to take my seasoning. And you know, guys, this is the Chipotle as well as the Southwest seasoning. And I learned something new. You know, a lot of times when you join companies, you have no support. But with Pampered Chef, not only do you have support from me and my team, but the home office, our field training people, and we have amazing consultants that share. And so I learned this recently from Michael Reeves. The reason why our spices are so amazing is it doesn't just flavor the outside of your meat, but it actually penetrates through the inside too. So if you've ever been to a Pampered Chef party and you try to imitate that recipe and it never tastes quite the same, that's why. These spices are amazing. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll kind of give you some ideas of what to get started. So just write spices down and we can talk about it. The next thing we're going to do, you can try to hold it if you want. The next thing we're going to do is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our onion. So, I don't know about y'all, but I hate to peel an onion, right? So, what I like to do is I like to cut the top and the bottom off, and I like to use this veggie wedger. And so, if you make mashed potatoes, you can put your potatoes in here and you can cut it. Okay, isn't that crazy how quick that was? Now watch. That's all you do to peel. Isn't that crazy? I just peeled it. Also, it fits perfectly in our manual food processing. So that's called the veggie wedger. We're going to throw some of the onions in here. Not really cooking, so I'm just kind of throwing it all in there. I won't do that for the show. Now work with me here. The other thing too, like zucchini, you cut your zucchini in half and you can slice it and you have nice little wedges to kind of put on your bar pan and maybe put some, grate some Parmesan cheese and use some of our seasoning. That's really good. Anybody have kids and they're in travel sports and you have to bring oranges? All you do is go down there and it's already cut in wedges for you, so it's super cool. So I like to use that a lot. And the other time-saving tool that I have here is called our quick slice. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut off the top. And you see all the, besides the seeds, you see all that white that's in there? That is what makes you, I'll just say, continually taste your bell pepper all day long, okay? So you want to make sure that you get every single piece of that white out. And the best tool, and it's $5.50, is called a scoop loop. It's got little serrated teeth, so if you want to stuff tomatoes, you can even cut it and stuff a tomato. Great teacher present. Tie one on a little pumpkin and give it to your teacher. They'll think about your child and you every single year when they use it. Cantaloupe, the seeds in pumpkin, but it's really good for this. So you guys can watch me do this real quick. Just like that, and then I'm just going to scrape it out. Now I've got it all out. We're going to take, this is called the quick slice. So if you have to do a whole lot of strawberries or a whole lot of mushrooms, if you're making steak, you know, you're going to want to just put them in here and go straight down and they're cut like that, okay? You can also use it on the board. Now if you're going to use something that's hollow like this, you're going to start off on your cooking board and you're going to kind of rock it back and forth, because if not, you might make it split. And then you're going to go straight down, and I didn't have a center there, like there we go. And just like that, you have perfectly sized pieces. You cut it in half, and it makes a beautiful display on your vegetable tray too. So this is an amazing tool as well. two different tools that we use for our garlic. If you want to season, say, a pot of beans where you need everything kind of, a lot of seasoning and everything's going to soak it up, you're going to use our garlic press. Because the finer you chop garlic, the more powerful it is, okay? And think about our seafood boils. We'll just eat a piece of garlic whole, right, that's been cooked and it's nice and sweet. You couldn't do that with pressed garlic, so kind of think of it that way. If you're going to actually eat the garlic, then you're going to need the peeler and slicer. But both of them, you put the garlic in with the peeling, you don't ever have to touch it. For the garlic press, you stick it in there, you press it, the garlic comes out, the peeling stays in. But for this one, since we're going to be eating our garlic, I'm going to go ahead and put the garlic with the peeling. I'm going to rock it back and forth, and the peeling just comes right off. I'm going to put it in my slicer. You can also do almonds, chocolate, things like that. Throw that in there, that comes off, and watch, y'all. See it just slicing? Isn't that amazing? Can y'all see that? So now it's ready to cook. And I'm going to put it in my microwave right here. And I'm going to turn it on, and in 10 minutes it's going to be cooked. And not only is it going to be cooked, but y'all are going to actually be able to see all the juice that's in there because it has marinated in its own juices. And that is why you can use our stoneware, whether it's our deep cover baker or our rock cross, in the microwave, because it creates that brick oven effect, so you don't get that rubberized chicken. So now it's time for me to talk to you about my favorite product and Paula's, because remember we're here so that she can get that double burner grill pan at $150 off. This is called the double burner grill pan. Now if you're cooking for 1 or 2 people, you can go ahead and get the single one. But if you're cooking for 3 or more at any time, you want to go ahead and invest a few more dollars and get the double burner grill pan. So this is a life changer, and I can tell you why, and you're going to see it tonight. I'm going to make the chicken in 3 minutes. I can make hamburgers in 3 minutes, especially if you're using our hamburger press, which is free, by the way. That's one of the free items when you spend $75 tonight. All you're going to do with the cookware is you're going to heat it up for 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and you're going to have it in a medium to medium high, depending, but if you have gas, you definitely don't want it to go over the edges. So while that is heating up, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It is made, it doesn't have that nonstick that peels off and has carcinogens and all that. It is dipped 3 times. It has a lifetime warranty, so you will never have to buy another piece again. The way that it's made with a thick bottom, thin sides, titanium, it's going to draw out both the heat as well as the cold. And it makes everything nice and even. So, you won't, that means that if you put butter on your pan, it won't go melt into the side. It'll stay in the middle. If I was to take this pan and put an ice cube in the center, it would melt, of course, right? But not only would it get cold where it melted, the entire pan gets cold. And the reason why is the way that it's made. So I had pork chops one time that I forgot to take out. Don't you hate that? And then you're with that dilemma and they tell you, oh, you need to defrost it in the refrigerator. Well, that's great. We can eat it 3 days later, right? I mean, come on, y'all love your turkeys, right? So your other option is running hot water or sticking it in the microwave, and that's just gross. I don't care what you do. It's either, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Or you leave it on the countertop. Well, you're not supposed to do that because bacteria sets in. Well, don't worry about that. You're going to put it in whatever of our executive cookware that you're going to be cooking. So I put it in, I put the pork chops on my double burner grill pan, and I set it on the countertop, and I went in the back of the house doing stuff. 20 minutes later, I came back, and I visibly could see the pink. You know what I'm talking about? Like when it starts to frost, it kind of gets a pink color rather than that gray color. I could see the color differential, and I was like, wow, they really know what they're talking about. So I turned it over, went back, came back in, and sure enough, it was totally defrosted. And I stuck my finger in, and I did this to make sure, it was cold in the center. So in 30 minutes, my pork chops, 3 inches, were totally defrosted. No bacteria set in. How amazing is that, right? And not only that, it's going to cook it crazy fast, as you're about to see. You can fit 8 or 9 hamburgers on here. You can sear your steaks and then finish cooking them in the oven, just like the higher-end restaurants do. You can make protein on one side, vegetables on the other. Anybody like grilled asparagus on their salad? Love them. They take so long in the oven. 4 minutes. 4 minutes on here. That's amazing. You can actually make pizza on top of it without heating up your house with the oven. You can grill your pizza on here. I learned that from another one of our consultants, Tennille. Also, she designed a breakfast at dinner. And guess what she does? And I tried it, of course. You put cinnamon rolls on here and you grill them. So you open up the pack, use your baker's roller, you roll them out flat, you set them on here, not with the presses. Hers said 6 minutes, mine came out in 4 minutes. And then she took the strawberries with a quick slice and she sliced them up and put them on there. And then our whipped cream maker, do y'all have that? That's amazing. In 30 minutes or less, you can make homemade whipped cream. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, thank you. 30 seconds or less. Lots of paper shovels here. 30 seconds or less, you can make homemade whipped cream. And actually, when they brought that out last conference, they had someone doing a hand mixer as well as an electrical, by hand, and then an electrical one, and this one, and it beat all of them. So that's really cool. But anyway, that's a great thing. And then another thing that I got from Michael Reeves is you can take, these stainless steel bowls are amazing if y'all don't have those, but the large one's the medium size. You can take the large one, which is, not only does it not take up a ton of space, but it's nice and deep, and it's got, the spout, it's got the rubber where it doesn't, the silicone where it doesn't move, the top will keep everything in there, the lid. But take the large one, put 2 boxes of cake mix in it, mix it up, pour it in this pan, and since our cookware goes in the oven, you can make a cake. And when you're done, you turn it over, it pops right out, and you are ready for football season because it already has the lines in it. So there's Michael Reeves is amazing, huh? So you can do everything. You can make omelets to dessert in here. And like I said, it is a life changer. So y'all can come, a couple of y'all can come up, not really, but y'all can come on up. And I want y'all to watch me do this chicken. So we're gonna, and by the way, these little silicone trivets are perfect for the presses because it doesn't mess up the countertops. So I'm gonna set these over. Use my raw chicken line. I'll put my chicken on here. Okay, so you see how it's sizzling? You want to make sure that it's sizzling. You can test it with a little bit of water. You don't want a whole lot of smoke. If it has a lot of smoke, you know it's too hot. So you test that before you put it in. Because everything with cooking between microwave or stove, whatever, you have to figure out, what the temperature is right. And so watch what happens when I put this on. The tops are going to sear it. And so now I can use these tongs. And it's going to sear all those juices in. And then a minute and a half later, it's time to turn it over. Look at all those grill marks. Isn't that amazing? It smells so good, huh? And in 30 seconds now, it's going to be done. So in less than 3 minutes. So y'all, you can put your purse on your shoulder. You can find your keys. Some of us, it takes longer than others. Get out the house, get on, get out the driveway, go around the corner, on your way to McDonald's, but by the time you get to the corner, my dinner's ready. And that is why this is such a time saver. That is why everybody needs this in their home. I've already made the salsa for y'all. And how about those margaritas? Y'all love those, huh? Those are really good. Well, don't forget I made that with the quick stir pitcher, so you might want to write that down. I know a lot of y'all were eyeing that. Manual food processor. There's a few reasons why I really do love this product. It works just like our food chopper did, only it's one of that you can make your salsa in, your guacamole in, baby food, geriatric food. Some of us take care of our older parents. Smoothies, hummus, just so many things. So what you've got here is you've got a a silicone bottom that's going to prevent it from moving. So this is a great tool when you have kids around you to get them to help you with, okay, because it won't fall off. And by the way, it's so important to have kids around the table with you. Matter of fact, we have an entire line that is dedicated, that's professional cookware for our little ones. Statistically, kids start cooking before the age of 8, they are going to cook up, I can't remember how much percentage, but 5 times, at least 5 times a week from scratch when they become an adult. They learn math, science, they are more confident, less likely to do drugs. I mean, there's so many reasons why, not to mention, you're actually having human contact, which this generation, we really need to make sure we're having that human contact with our kids. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So make sure, we have things from 2 years old all the way up to college that we can help them. Okay, so I talked about the silicone bottom. They have a latch that keeps the handle, plunger, whatever. What you're going to do is after you cut that onion with the veggie wedger, you're going to put it in here. And you're going to do that. As it chops, it's constantly turning it, okay? So you're going to start off with anything that has to be chopped a whole lot. That's why I always start off with the onions first. I end with the tomatoes. I have a recipe for y'all when y'all check out, so don't worry about that. You know what I'm making. But the main point of this is that it's a small footprint. It's not huge like those electric food processors that y'all have that take up an entire cabinet. It's quiet, so if you have someone taking a nap, you don't have to worry about that. It's portable. You can bring it with you. You can determine how much you want to chop something up. So if you have little ones that don't like to see the green in their vegetables, you're going to chop it up a whole lot, right? I mean, green, vegetables in the dishes. If you're doing a stir fry, you're just going to do it a couple of times so that it's just chopped up a little bit. When you chop, though, if you're using an electric food processor, all of the juices that are inside your vegetables go in that electric food processor, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? On this, it doesn't. It stays in the vegetables, which means that when you're cooking it, it's releasing into the food, which makes it taste better. The other thing is, you can do green onions. If you've ever tried an electric food processor, it doesn't work. You can even chop green onions in this thing. It is amazing. There's a reason why it's a guest favorite. Okay, so some of you might have noticed that I have a different knife than what I normally have. So this is a sneak peek, because next season we're actually coming out with new knives. So you have our regular forged cutlery. You're going to want to make sure that you complete your set tonight, and they're still wonderful. I absolutely still love them. I couldn't even imagine that they were making them better, but they did. A couple of things. It's lighter, so I can balance it. It's still made with the full tang that we like so much to get our control, but this time you can see it. And it's got the rivets in here that are stainless, so it's not going to shrink and contract with the heat like some of the other knives do, so you don't have to worry about bacteria getting in. It's got a nice, comfortable handle that's made, I think, pocket wood, but it's basically a wood and a plastic combination. Now, for years, when I bring people up, I try to tell them how to hold a knife, and it's real difficult for them. Not anymore. Pampered Chef has put their emblem right on here, and that is where you put your thumb. And they've also designed the handle to where your fingers can get there a whole lot better. There's a certain way to hold a chef's knife and to use it. And so you can practice with it because there's an emblem right there on the sleeve as well. So what you do, and by the way, it beat out the competition with how sharp it is. So it's sharper out of the box, and it continues to be sharp. You can still use our honing tool, and you're going to want to use this every time because it'll keep all those little rivets from happening. So you just kind of do this a couple of times. And then, when you're cutting something, you're going to, I have a cucumber here. You're going to hold it here. You're going to put your knife there, then you're going to grab the cucumber. You're not going to put your hand there and then do that because then you can hurt yourself. So you can put the knife here, you're going to put it right there, you're going to slice down. It's so strong that you can go through frozen sausage with plastic and just cut like it's butter. It's crazy, y'all. But it has enough flexibility to take an orange and peel it and go around. So you have control. You won't cut yourself. Lifetime guarantee. It's just an amazing knife. But the chef's knife's always going to want to keep the tip on the table, on your cutting board, and you're going to want to slice through it as opposed to chopping. So if you're a chopper, you kind of want to go with maybe the same Tony knife. But you're going to put your fingers, very important, into like a C, and you're going to use your thumb to anchor it. And so as you're chopping, you're moving the food back towards it, and you're slicing through like this. You're not lifting your elbow up, you're just kind of doing this. So when you get this at home, put the sleeve on, just practice doing this, okay? And pretty soon you'll be, so the other thing that I really like to sell at my shows is our salad spinner. And I have one that I bring usually with my shows because I do a lot of themes. I do the fajitas and margaritas like we have tonight. I'll do salads and sangrias, all kinds of fun things. But I like to do my salads. And probably my third favorite product is the salad spinner. I didn't bring it tonight. But basically what you're going to do, I like to take the 3-pack of romaine lettuce that you get, you know what I'm talking about, and I'll even stack it up like it's a triangle, and then I'll take my knife and at one time just chop all of them. I'll stick it in the colander. There's 2 colanders in the salad spinner. We have a berry colander, so if you're doing strawberries, you're going to rinse them, put them in there. You're going to let it spin, and your strawberries are not going to get all moldy right away, so that's really good. But you're going to put your salad in there, and I always at my show have my host rinse it and move it around and all, and shake, and just keep shaking and shaking and shaking. And everybody's like, okay, that's enough. I'm like, okay. So we'll stick it in the plastic bowl, we'll put the top on it. It has the same type of plunger like this one does. And you do this, and you lock it. And we will watch water pouring out. I mean, pouring out, and everybody's shocked. And because it's got the silicone bottom, you can start that when you're making dinner, and you can continue doing all the stuff that you need to do, and it stays right there. It's awesome. Take it out. You're going to pour at least that much water out. Put it back in, do it again, because the bottom actually was sitting in the water, so you have to do it one more time. My lettuce stays a week and a half without getting brown in the refrigerator. What a time saver. Get yourself the measurements and pour. It's basically salad dressing for dummies. You fill up to here, you add this, it tells you everything to do on there. Keep that on your countertop. You always have a quick salad that you can grab. So that is just one product that I just love, and I think everybody should have in their home. So I've talked to you guys about a lot of things tonight. And I've shown you some really awesome tools, right? So you can purchase them tonight. We can get them, you can purchase what you want to tonight, and if your wish list ends up being bigger than your budget, we can talk about getting some of this stuff for free. Or if you notice that Ultimate Kit had most of these products in it, so that's another way to get it. And I have one more game that I want to play with you guys, and then we can start eating. Y'all can send me your order. But basically, I'm looking around at you guys, and you know, all of us joined Pampered Chef for a different reason. I joined just to get the kit, honestly, and I was planning on quitting. But I got my $1,000 paycheck after two shows, and I said, I was running around every weekend with 4 kids playing ball. $500 this weekend, $500 this weekend. I mean, if you have travel ball kids, you know what I'm talking about. We were spending money constantly. And we didn't have money for a family vacation. I looked at my husband, I said, oh, this is fun. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Not to mention that I actually earned a trip for free. But anyway, so I stay because it allows us the freedom to have fun with my family. Other people might be divorced. You know, you guys might be trying to figure out how to pay a house note or a car note or braces for your kids, or you just might need some family time, some adult time to get away from your kids. Whatever the reason is, I don't know, but I know that we have a solution for that, and I would love to help you get started in your business. And so right now, I'm going to invite you guys to ask me questions about my business. I have these tickets here, and as you ask me a question, I'm going to hand you the ticket. And then I have this cool little cookbook that I'm going to give away for free. So do y'all have any questions about my business.
How many times a week do you do
Well,
shows?
what's so amazing about Neighbor Chef is that if you want to replace your job because you can't stand getting up to go to work on Mondays, just 2 days a week you can become a full-time. You can make full-time pay. Like I said, I'm a full-time court reporter, and I always tell my recruits, I want you to take your calendar and I want you to fill it completely up with everything that you have between, you know, your kids, your home, your church, whatever you do. And then I want you, if you're married, take a date night for your husband, and if you're not, you take a date night for yourself. Whatever is left, that's what you offer. So, you know, I can't answer for you because for me, sometimes I can work 2 times a week, sometimes I work 2 times a month. It's whatever I make my own schedule. Okay, so at this point, I just answer whatever questions I'll kind of segue in, and that's pretty much my show. So.
Good job, Mary. Thank you so much. Let's hear it. She did rock it. All right, so we're just going to do a quick little recap of her show. How many of y'all are pretty new consultants, like in the last 2 months or so? Yeah, a good many of y'all. So you know when you watch a show as a consultant, you see it differently than you did as a guest at a show, right? So we're going to break it down into parts. The beginning. In the beginning of the show, was there something that Mary did that you noticed that was something you haven't done? Anybody?
She opened.
The show folder. She did go over her show folder with her guests to kind of let them know this is what I have, this is what you can expect. People like to know what to expect, what's coming up. What about how she presented the host program? You know, she did a really good job of putting it out there without saying, well, when you book, you know, if you have a show, you can get this. She said, I love the line you used that said, and you, my host, you're going to get a discount on the entire catalog today. I love that line she used. And also the way she brought in the past host discount, the booking reward, saying, oh, and Denise, because she booked at her show, she gets a 50% off item. So, yes.
Okay, I liked how she knew what the host wanted and how she told the guests how much the host was going to save on it.
Very good, yes. She knew what was on her host wish list and kind of let everybody in on this is what we're helping her, you are helping her to get today. And this is how much it's saving her. What about her story? Did Mary incorporate her story in there? You did.
I was like, I think I forgot that.
No, you did. It's in my notes. Look, I wrote my notes as you did it. So you did it.
I like how she sprinkled it and she didn't she didn't go on and it kind of went in different areas, so it didn't feel like it was forced.
Correct. She just had a little sprinkle here and then another sprinkle there about her story, why Pampered Chef. And everything she said that was about her, she would also turn it back around to the guests. I love what she said. Well, this is what it was for me, but when it's for you, you know, only you can answer that. You know, I love the way she did that. She always made people think about, well, when it's for you. What about product knowledge?
Oh, amazing.
Yes. Mary knows her products. You know, she uses her products, and she uses examples from her real life in selling the products. So that was really, really strong.
She showed the versatility of the products. It wasn't, you know, this is what it does. This is what I use it for. But she also said, and for baby food, and for, you know, like, I mean, I'm a grandma, but, you know, I
Yes.
have babies at home. But there's people in your audience that have babies, have kids, and, you know, they go, oh, yeah.
That's right. So she used the product to relate to groups that might be different than what she is herself. You know, I don't have any small children at home, but, you know, when you hear the thing about baby food is like, I know somebody who could use that, okay? And now with all the fresh eating, people like making their own stuff, you know, so that's good for that. And I love when she talked about products, about stoneware. She said, well, you already know. You already know this. You already know this. And I really love that because sometimes people say, oh, I have stoneware. And then you start doing your education on stoneware. And they go, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Oh, you can put stones in the microwave? It's like craziness. I also loved her tip about the tongs. If you have a baby on your hip or a sling on your arm, you can still use these. I love that.
And one for raw meat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the small tongs for the raw meat and the large tongs for cooked meat. I'm so still in that one. You know, once you use it 3 times, it's like it was yours, so you don't have to worry about it. Oh, and also the guest special. Y'all notice how she weaved that guest special in there a couple of times? She mentioned it at the beginning when she was going over her guest folders, but she also said, oh, you can get this hamburger press tonight for free. It's part of our guest special. I like that. So good. I also wrote down the thing about the cake mix and the grill pan because I didn't know the football field thing, and we're so doing that at our next meeting probably. Also, you notice she did a sneak peek of a product that's coming up.
Yeah, I like that.
That was really good. That she just put. This is just a little sneak peek of what's to come. Because sometimes we don't know. Should we talk about something new that's coming? Should we not? So I really like that. I don't know what I did.
She also used that sneak peek to encourage sales on the older product too.
Yes.
So, you know, that can also
Finish your
increase your sales at the show. Going,
Right.
if you started on this other one, you're going to want to finish your set tonight before they're gone.
Very good. That's right. Gave a sense of urgency about the current catalog that you don't want to lose the opportunity to get your collection complete. All right. And what about in the wrap up at the end of her show? What did she do to close her show?
The ticket game.
She did the ticket game. She played the ticket game. And when she did that, she also talked about how you could get your products. What's the 3 ways she said you could get your products? Buy it, have a show, get a kit. So she really wrapped that all into the end there. So I hope y'all were able to dissect it in your brain. And if you have the opportunity, be sure to go and see someone else's show because we all do it differently and they're all good. You know, we all have our own way. So be sure to go view another show and go view with those things in mind. What was their beginning? What was the product knowledge in the middle? What was their end? And that's going to help your show flow better as well.
You know what, Vicki, she
Yes.
did great with all of your tips. I don't know where she went now, but
She wants to grow up.
her tips were like amazing. You know, peel the onions, things that I had never heard, like peel the onions. You know, I thought
She gave a ton of tips that
the
the way you could use the
the
product.
tasting the the pepperoni. Right.
Yeah.
Right, the ice cube trick. I mean, that was in the defrost. I mean, there's a lot of information.
There was a lot, and y'all all know the products, and look how much y'all learned from just seeing a different perspective. So once again, thank you, Mary.